Hello everybody, it's me, your mom, and today I'm going to go through a detailed advanced tutorial on setting up your PNGtuber in OBS version 28. The most recent version of OBS has brought a whole bunch of great new features, and I'm going to show you how to leverage all of them for your PNGtuber. Whether you want to record videos, make TikToks, stream, or do something else entirely, this is the tutorial for you. I'll show you what you need, how to set up Veadotube Mini for PNGtuber, how to set up Veadotube Mini with OBS, and how to do a couple more advanced tricks for your PNGtuber to make it everything you dreamed of. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's talk a little bit about what you'll need. Before anything else, you'll need images for your PNGtuber. It can be as simple as a single flat static PNG or as complicated as you like, including using things like GIFs to spice things up. There are a number of places that you can make your own PNGtuber even if you're not an artist. You could use Canva, or you could use a pcrew with the appropriate permissions. For this tutorial, I used this pcrew, which will be linked in the description, to create my character. It's very important that you make sure that the TOS for the pcrew or the service that you're using to create your PNGtuber allows you to use it. If you're commissioning art from an artist, be sure to disclose what you plan to use it for. Remember that if you're affiliated on Twitch, that counts as commercial use. Be creative. Your image can be anything. And remember, it can be just one picture to start. You don't have to get super complicated right off the bat. It's easy to add more features later if you'd like to. Once you have your images for your PNGtuber, you'll need a couple of pieces of software. The first is a copy of Veadotube Mini, which is available again at the link included below. In my opinion, Veadotube is the best option for PNGtubing. Veadotube Mini is free, but if you plan to use it long-term for streaming or creating content, I would highly recommend supporting the developer if you're able to. Your support allows small developers to continue adding features and improving software for everyone. And lastly, you will need a copy of OBS Studio installed. For this tutorial, we'll be using the latest update, which is OBS 28.0.1. But this tutorial should work for older versions of OBS for the most part. In order to keep things simple for you, I'm going to avoid using plugins, but there are a number of plugins that you can add to just add a little bit extra to your PNGtuber. For more on that, you can check my previous PNGtuber tutorial, which will be linked below as well. If you've never used OBS before, the interface can be a little bit intimidating. I'll go through a basic overview in this tutorial, but I would recommend looking up a tutorial dedicated to getting you started with OBS so that you can find your way around. All right, let's get started with Veadotube Mini. So this is Veadotube Mini. First, let's go on a brief tour of all the different features. Here on the far left, you can see that we have two bars, a green one and a blue one. The first bar, which is green, shows us how loud the volume coming in through our microphone needs to be before it's picked up by Veadotube. The second bar, which is blue, shows you how long your mouth stays open after your mic has been activated. Below that, we have the option to switch microphones. So you can pick any input device going into your computer. Below that, we have this waffle button, which lets us change some of our display settings. This folder allows you to load previously saved Veadotube Mini files, which is great if you're switching between PNGtubers on the fly. And then the last button allows us to save our settings into a Veadotube Mini file so we can load them again later. This is great for keeping track of changes to your PNGtuber and saving previous versions if you'd like to. Next, along the top, we have some of the most important features in Veadotube. These first four options are for the images for your PNGtuber. So one with the eyes open and the mouth closed, one with the eyes open and the mouth open, one with the eyes closed and the mouth closed, and one with the eyes closed and the mouth open. If you're just getting started, you can just use the first one. Next, we have some animation options. The first is the motion that you do when your mouth is closed. The next is the motion that you do when your mouth is open. And the last one is the transition animation between the two. Then we have the option to set hotkeys. And then we have this hotkey mode. When this arrow is pointing down, it shows that when you press the button, it activates this expression. When you see this arrow bouncing off, it shows that you can hold the button to activate the expression. And when you let go of the button, it'll go back to your default. Pretty handy if you want to do things like winking, for example. This trash can on the far right-hand side will delete the current expression. And then below that, we have a list of all of the expressions that we've added. Okay, pretty straightforward. So let's see it in action. The first thing I'm going to do is click on each of these here at the top, and I'm going to add all the images for this expression. Now that I've added all my images, you can see that the character blinks and the mouth opens when I begin to talk and closes when I'm quiet. Veadotube automatically randomizes the blinking to give a more natural effect. Next, let's edit some of the animation settings. Now, when the mouth is closed, I gently sway back and forth. When I'm talking, I do a little bob up and down, and I do a little hop to transition between the two. Let's add a second expression. Hit this plus button here, and that will copy our original expression into a new state. You'll always copy the expression you're on to the new one you create. I'm going to add 4 brand new images for this new expression. And here's the second expression. I'm going to edit the animation so they fit a little better. So in this expression, you can see that my PNGtuber is just a little bit more lively. You can play with the different animations to decide what works best for you. Next, I want to be able to toggle between my 2 expressions using hotkeys. I would recommend using the numpad keys on your keyboard for these hotkeys when you're starting out. There are a couple of more advanced ways that you can set hotkeys. If you're interested in more advanced ways to trigger your expressions that don't involve any of the keys on your keyboard, check out this tutorial on how to use MIDI from Touch Portal to trigger different expressions in Veadotube. In the meantime, we'll just go with the simple approach. Starting with my original expression, I'm going to hit the Set Hotkey button. In this menu, you can see that it asks for keyboard, MIDI, mouse, or X input inputs. I'm going to hit the first button on my numpad, so that's numpad 1. And that sets this expression to numpad 1. I'll do the same for the second expression, but with numpad 2. And now if I hit 1 on my numpad, I go to the first expression, my neutral expression. And when I hit 2, I go to the second expression, which is my sort of mischievous expression. Under display settings in Veadotube, we have a couple of different options. We have a gray background. We can turn this background any color we like. The gray background supports transparency in OBS, but we might want to key out the background. For example, using a green or magenta background, depending on the colors in our PNGtuber. That option is up to you. Whatever works best for you is what you should go with. I'm going to stick with gray because that's the easiest for me, and I would recommend that you start there before you start fiddling around. Next is image mode. This changes how your PNGtuber is cut out of the background. Smooth should work great most of the time. Spout Stream is a really great feature. It allows you to take the video feed directly out of Veadotube. That means that you'll never see the interface in OBS when you're running your stream. If you would like more information on Spout and how to use it, I would check out some other tutorials. It's a little bit more complicated, but it can be great for a more advanced stream experience. For beginners though, honestly for most folks, just bringing Veadotube in as a game source should work fantastic. And then we have the option to hide interface. By default, Veadotube will hide the interface when you're not focused on the application, and it will show back up when you mouse over it. When streaming, you can just minimize it, and while it's in the taskbar, you won't see the interface, so that should work just fine. Looking fantastic. Now that I've got all the settings that I want for Veadotube ready to go, I'm going to save this configuration so that I can come back to it later. If you already had a Veadotube Mini file ready, for example, if you saved before, you may get a warning saying that you're overwriting your Veadotube Mini file. You can keep as many Veadotube Mini files on your computer as you can fit. I would recommend, if you have a major update, to back up what you've done by leaving the previous save file and renaming the new one so you can differentiate between the two. So for example, PNGtuber version 1 and PNG version 2. Now that Veadotube Mini is all set up, let's go into OBS version 28 and get set up in there. Here's OBS. Let's go through a brief tour of the interface so you can kind of see what's going on. Here in the middle, we have our preview screen. This box will show us what will appear when we record or stream. Here I have a widget for my Twitch chat. At the top, we have our settings, and then along the bottom, we have our setup. So in the first position, we have all of our different scenes. We can create different scenes so we can decide what to show on screen at what time. If you've watched VTubers who have a chatting screen and a gaming screen, these are 2 different scenes that they've set up. Next, we have our sources. Our sources are a list of items which are contained inside of our scene. So going back to our VTuber example, a VTuber might have a different background on their chatting screen than they have on their gaming screen. Those separate sources will be held in this area for each scene. Then we have our audio mixer. I'm not going to talk very much about audio in this tutorial, but if you're adding any sources that make noise, that noise will show up here, including what volume it's at and whether or not it's muted. And then the last one I have here are my streaming controls. So in order for this tutorial to work, we're going to use what's called a nested scene so that we can bring our PNGtuber into OBS in one scene and then edit that PNGtuber across all the different scenes in OBS anytime we want. It's going to make things much more convenient for us. So I'm going to start by renaming this scene. You can see that I've renamed it to NS PNGtuber. The NS stands for nested scene. I'm using that to denote that this scene is only showing up inside of other scenes. That's just for organizational purposes. And then I've given it a descriptive name so that later it's easy for me to tell what is inside of this scene. Next, let's work on our sources. The first source is going to be our Veadotube Mini source. So I'm going to click on plus, and then I'm going to go to game capture, and I'm going to give this a descriptive name, PNGtuber source. Then I'm going to get my properties showing up. Under mode, I'm going to go to capture specific window. Then under window, I'm going to go to Veadotube Mini, and you can see that a preview of Veadotube Mini has shown up here. I'm going to check allow transparency so the background can be clear. I'm going to uncheck capture cursor because I don't want my mouse cursor to show up on my PNGtuber when I'm recording. And I'm also going to uncheck use anti-cheat compatibility hook. It's just not something I need here. The rest of these settings will leave default. And hit OK. So we have our PNGtuber in OBS. They're looking great. You can see that there's a little bit of a gap between the bottom of my PNGtuber and the bottom of the screen. I'm going to remove that gap so that when I'm bringing my PNGtuber into other scenes, it's a little bit cleaner. Depending on the art that you use and how big it is, you may experience a larger or smaller gap. So I'm going to click on the source in my preview, and then I'm going to hold the Alt key on my keyboard. I'm going to mouse over this little node here in the bottom middle, and I'm going to drag up, and you can see that the bottom edge turns green and it's dotted now. That's showing me that I'm actually cropping out part of this source. So this is a little trick you can use on any source in OBS. Then I'm going to grab my entire source and I'm going to drag it down so that that green line matches with the bottom of the screen. Should snap nicely. But just in case I'm worried about centering it properly, you can see there's a couple of pixels on the side here. I'm going to right click on my PNGtuber source. I'm going to go to transform and then center horizontally. That will center my source in the middle horizontally without changing how it's vertically aligned. Now I'm going to add some other stuff to my PNGtuber. I'm actually going to add a hat as a little accessory. So let's do that. I'm going to click plus to add a source. And then I'm going to add an image. I'm going to give it a descriptive name. And then I'm going to find the image that I want. Once I've got the image that I want, I'm going to click on the source and drag it to the location that I want it to show up on top of my PNGtuber. And now my PNGtuber has a little hat. Fantastic. So we'll do some other stuff with both of these sources in just a minute. For now, let's see what it's like to bring our PNGtuber into other scenes. For example, a scene where we're playing a game. I'll click plus under scenes, and then I'll give this a descriptive name. Then I'm going to bring in my game source. So we'll select game capture out of the list. And I'm just going to leave it named game capture because that's exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to go to capture specific window, and then I'm going to select my game. Okay. Sometimes when you bring in a game capture, you have to go and actually activate, like click on and focus on the window that your game is playing in so that it'll show up in OBS. The game source is looking good, so let's bring in our PNGtuber. Hit the plus under sources and choose scene. I'm going to add an existing scene. I'm going to choose our nested scene PNGtuber. Click OK. And now you can see our PNGtuber is part of our gaming scene. This is not a great spot for our PNGtuber to be in though, so let's move them so that they fit better. I'm going to select the PNGtuber and grab one of the corners, and I'm just going to resize myself to be about the size that I want. And then I'm going to click and drag my PNGtuber to the spot that I want them on screen. You can see that part of this scene is being cut out, and that's fine. I can check by looking at the preview that none of my PNGtuber is cut off by the location I've put them in. Looking great. Honestly, to get started, this is everything you'll need. I have my PNGtuber, I have my game source, and because of the hotkeys we set in Veadotube earlier, I can easily switch expressions right from here. But there is one other thing I might want to do. For example, I might want to show and hide my hat with a hotkey as well. So let's go back to our nested PNGtuber scene and have a look. In OBS, we can set hotkeys for basically anything we'd like to do, including switching scenes and hiding and showing things. So I'm going to click on Settings, and I'm going to go to Hotkeys. Then I'm going to scroll down to my nested PNGtuber scene, and you can see there's the option here for Show and Hide Witch Hat. I'm going to use numpad 3 to hide and show the witch hat. So I'm going to click it in here, and then I'm going to use the same hotkey in Hide. By using the same hotkey in both, it'll be a toggle. When I press it once, it'll show up, and when I press it again, it'll go away. We're going to hit Apply, and then click OK. And now when I press 3, the hat will disappear. That looks okay, but it might be nice for it to have a little bit of a transition. So let's make it fade in and out nicely. I'm going to right click on the witch hat, and I'm going to go to Show Transition. And under Show Transition, I'm going to choose Fade. I'll right click on it again and go to Hide Transition and choose Fade again. And now when I show and hide the hat, it'll have a nice fading effect. There are a bunch of different transition options, and you can check them all out to decide which ones you like the best. You can do the same thing for scenes, if you like. All right, we'll go to the gaming source, and I'll show you when I press our hotkey, the hat will nicely fade in and out. Perfect. Now that I've set up my PNGtuber in a nested scene, I can bring them into any scene I'm using in OBS, and feel free to resize them and use my accessories in all those scenes without having to individually adjust them, which is really, really handy. Or later, if I want to set up things to be toggled using channel points, I can set that up through something like Touch Portal, or there are a couple of different Twitch bots that allow you to do that. That is the bulk of the functionality that you'll need to get your PNGtuber started. With this, you could easily set up and start streaming tomorrow if you'd like to. Just remember to keep it simple and not get too overwhelmed with all the things that you want to do. The most important thing when you're trying to stream or record or make content is to just get started. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Before I let you go, here are a couple of quick tips for you. The new version of OBS will sometimes override your hotkeys by sucking up all of your keyboard input. Remember that the best thing to do when you're streaming is to run OBS as an administrator, but you'll need to run any of the other programs that you're using as an administrator as well to make sure that your hotkeys don't get overridden. Remember that sometimes game sources can be a bit finicky. If two game sources are trying to reference the same game, only one of them will actually pick it up. Remember that for transparency, you will need to check Allow Transparency in the game source that you bring Veadotube in as. If you're not using Allow Transparency, you can set the background to green or magenta or blue, depending on the colors that are present in your character, and then key them out using one of OBS's default filters. And you can access those by right-clicking on your source and going to Filters. Remember that the chroma key filter removes things based on color. So if your character has a lot of green, then the green chroma key will also remove elements of your character. That's why you have multiple color options. If this video was helpful for you, please do leave a like. And if you like, please subscribe for more tutorials. It helps me out quite a bit. If there's something you'd like to see, leave it in the comments. Don't forget, I'm live right now on twitch.tv/MrsMothmom. I can't wait to see your super cool PNGtuber on Twitch. Have a good day and good luck. Goodbye.